Section 46 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 46. Somebody Else. Somebody wants a new bonnet to wear. Somebody wants a new dress. Somebody needs a new bow for her hair, and never the wanting grows less. Oh, this is the reason I labor each day, and this is the joy of my tasks, that deep in the envelope holding my pay is something that somebody asks. I could go begging for water and bread and travel the highways of ease, but somebody wants a roof over his head and stockings to cover his knees. I could go shirking the duties of life and laugh when necessity pleads, but rather I stand to the toil and the strife to furnish what somebody needs. Somebody wants what I have strength to supply, and somebody is waiting for me to come home tonight with money to buy her bread and her cake and her tea. And as I am strong, so her laughter will ring, and as I am true, she will smile. It's the somebody else of the toiler or king that makes all the struggle worthwhile. Somebody needs all the courage I own, and somebody's trust is in me. For never a man who can go it alone, whatever his station may be. So I stand to my task and I stand to my care, and struggle to come to success, for the ribbons to tie up somebody's hair, and my somebody's pretty new dress. End of section 46, recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. Section 47 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 47. Effort. He brought me his report card from the teacher and he said, he wasn't very proud of it and sadly bowed his head. He was excellent in reading, but arithmetic was fair, and I noticed there were several unsatisfactories there. But one little bit of credit which was given brought me joy. He was excellent in effort, and I fairly hugged the boy. Oh, it doesn't make much difference what is written on your card, I told that little fellow, if you're only trying hard. The very goods and excellence are fine, I must agree, but the effort you are making means a whole lot more to me. And the thing that's most important when this card is put aside is to know, in spite of failure, that to do your best you've tried. Just keep excellent in effort. All the rest will come to you. There isn't any problem but some day you'll learn to do. And at last, when you grow older, you will come to understand that by hard and patient toiling men have risen to command, and some day you will discover when a greater goal's at stake, that better far than brilliance is the effort you will make. End of section 47. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. Section 48 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 48. Living. The miser thinks he's living when he's hoarding up his gold. The soldier calls it living when he's doing something bold. The sailor thinks it living to be tossed upon the sea. And upon this very subject no two men of us agree. But I hold to the opinion, as I walk my way along, that living's made of laughter and good fellowship and song. I wouldn't call it living to be always seeking gold, to bank all the present gladness for the days when I'll be old. I wouldn't call it living to spend all my strength for fame, and forego the many pleasures which today are mine to claim. I wouldn't for the splendor of the world set out to roam, and forsake my laughing children and the peace I know at home. Oh, the thing that I call living isn't gold or fame at all. It's fellowship and sunshine, and it's roses by the wall. It's evenings glad with music, and a hearth fire that's ablaze, and the joys which come to mortals in 1,000 different ways. It is laughter and contentment and the struggle for a goal. It is everything that's needful in the shaping of a soul. End of section 48. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai.
Section 49 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 49. A Warm House and a Ruddy Fire. A warm house and a ruddy fire, to what more can man aspire? Eyes that shine with love aglow, is there more for man to know? Whether home be rich or poor, if contentment mark the door, he who finds it good to live has the best that life can give. This the end of mortal strife, peace at night to sweeten life, rest when mind and body tire, at contentment's ruddy fire. Rooms where merry songs are sung, happy old and glorious young, these, if perfect peace be known, both the rich and poor must own. A warm house and a ruddy fire, these the goals of all desire, these the dream of every man, since God spoke and life began. End of section 49. Recording by Patty Cunningham.
Section 50 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 50. The One in 10. 9 passed him by with a hasty look, each bent on his eager way. One glance at him was the most they took. "Somebody stuck," said they. But it never occurred to the 9 to heed a stranger's plight and a stranger's need. The 10th man looked at the stranded car, and he promptly stopped his own. "Let's see if I know what your troubles are," said he in a cheerful tone. "Just stuck in the mire. Here's a cable stout. Hitch on to my bus, and I'll pull you out." "1,000 thanks," said the stranger then, "for the debt that I owe you. I've counted them all, and you're 1 in 10. Such a kindly deed to do." And the 10th man smiled, and he answered then, "Make sure that you'll be the 1 in 10. Are you one of the 9 who pass men by in this hasty life we live? Do you refuse with a downcast eye the help which you could give? Or are you the 1 in 10 whose creed is always to stop for the man in need? End of section 50. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai.
Section 51 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 51. To a Young Man. The great were once as you. They whom men magnify today once groped and blundered on life's way, were fearful of themselves, and thought by magic was men's greatness wrought. They feared to try what they could do. Yet fame hath crowned with her success the selfsame gifts that you possess. The great were young as you, dreaming the very dreams you hold, longing yet fearing to be bold, doubting that they themselves possess the strength and skill for every test, uncertain of the truths they knew, not sure that they could stand to fate with all the courage of the great. Then came a day when they their first bold venture made. Scorning to cry for aid, they dared to stand to fight alone, took up the gauntlet life had thrown, charged full front to the fray, mastered their fear of self, and then learned that our great men are but men. O youth, go forth and do! You too to fame may rise. You can be strong and wise. Stand up to life and play the man. You can, if you'll but think you can. The great were once as you. You envy them their proud success. 'Twas won with gifts that you possess. End of section 51. Recording by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. Section 52 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 52. Afraid of his Dad. Bill Jones, who goes to school with me, is the saddest boy I ever see. He's just so 'fraid he runs away when all of us fellows want to play, and says he dasn't stay about, 'cause if his father found it out, he'd wallop him. And he can't go with us to see a picture show on Saturdays. And it's too bad, but he's afraid to ask his dad. When he gets his report card, he is just as scared can be. And once I saw him when he cried, because although he'd tried and tried his best, the teacher didn't care and only marked his spelling fair. And he told me there'd be a fight when his dad saw his card that night. It seems to me it's awful bad to be so frightened of your dad. My dad ain't that way. I can go and tell him everything I know and ask him things, and when he comes back home at night he says we're chums, and we go out and take a walk, and all the time he lets me talk. I ain't scared to tell him what I've done today that I should not. When I get home I'm always glad to stay around and play with Dad. Bill Jones, he says he wishes he could have a father just like me. But his dad hasn't time to play, and so he chases him away and scolds him when he makes a noise and licks him if he breaks his toys. Sometimes Bill says he's got to lie or else get whipped, and that is why it seems to me it's awful bad to be so frightened of your dad. End of section 52. Recording by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio.
Section 53 of All That Matters. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest. Section 53. Service. I have no wealth of gold to give away, but I can pledge to worthy causes these. I'll give my strength, my days and hours of ease, my finest thought and courage when I may, and take some deed accomplished for my pay. I cannot offer much in silver fees, but I can serve when richer persons play, and with my presence fill some vacancies. There are some things beyond the gift of gold, a richer treasures needed now and then. Some joys life needs which are not bought and sold. The high occasion often calls for men. Some for release from service give their pelf, but he gives most who freely gives himself. End of section 53. Recording by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai. End of All That Matters by Edgar A. Guest.